Okay, Aiden, phone still good? Meeting room will come to order. We're now holding the October 13th, 2025 meeting of the Cumberland County Fiscal Court, 4 p.m. Central Time, third floor of the Cumberland County Courthouse. This time I'll ask our magistrate from District 2 to lead us in a word of prayer, please.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you at this time, Lord, thank you for this day and the many things that you've blessed us with, Lord. We just pray, Lord, as we go about doing business on behalf of Cumberland County here, as Cumberland County Fiscal Court, that you would just be with us and guide us in the right direction, Lord. Give us the wisdom and knowledge we need to make decisions that we keep our county moving forward. Lord, we just pray for all those who are sick, Lord. We just ask that it's your will, that you just touch your bodies and heal them, Lord. Lord, we pray for the leaders of our country, Lord. Pray that they would always look to you for guidance and making decisions that would keep our freedoms in place. Lord, we just ask that you would be with us as we go through this meeting and on through life, and when you're done with us here, you would give us a home in heaven. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
If you would join us in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. This time I'll call the roll. This will also occur after my Magistrate District 1. Here. Magistrate District 2. Here. Magistrate District 3. Here. Magistrate District 4. Here. County Attorney Coleman Hurt. Here. Thank you, gentlemen, very, very much. I would ask you, again, if your mics start at any point to ring or buzz or anything like that during the course of the meeting, if you would flip those off just for a moment. I know several of us have also had quite a bit of trouble with coughs over the weekend and today, so if any of us start one of the cough attacks, flip it off for that too. We'll move into approval of meeting minutes. You have in front of you one set of meeting minutes. This is the September 8th, 2025, 4 p.m. regularly called meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
Motion.
So moved with Magistrate District 4. Is there a second? Second. Second with Magistrate District 2. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. Gentlemen, the lengthier special called meeting minutes, you'll have those at an upcoming special call, or you'll have those at our next regular meeting. A couple of those edits that you want me to make, making those to that set of minutes. Departmental reports, moving on to the road supervisor, Mr. Ricky Melton, if you would please come forward.
Good evening, everyone. I don't really have anything new, I don't think. But we know everything's good.
Does that mean that we're ready for everything that winter might bring our way to then? Do you think we're good to go?
Yep, we're ready.
Good answer. Good answer.
This dry weather's really helped keeping the road conditions, everything just went so much better. We can fix places, move on, not backing up, cleaning everything out all the time. So that's been a plus.
Ricky, let me ask you this. This came up at Magistrate District 3's community office hours this last Friday, I guess it was. We met down at the barbecue on South 61 down there, had about 10 or a dozen so folks come to that. And what I was explaining to them when they were asking several different road-related questions, asphalt, and my road needs this, my road needs that. What I had shared with them, and I kind of put you on the spot, there's not a right or a wrong answer, but just the honest answer. I had told them that from my perspective, it finally feels like that we as a court and we as a management team are finally able to catch our breath a little. We're finally getting caught up with a lot of this deferred maintenance equipment that was breaking down, that took the crew off for half the week to fix a piece of junk equipment. Now the crew is on the road working for the vast majority of the week if they're not on something else. Do you agree with that? Do you think we are making that progress?
Yes, it's good. I think in District 3, he's done a fine job. His roads are looking as good as they ever have, you know.
Well done, Master District 3.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's my district too.
Fair enough, fair enough. Any questions?
Everybody else, they're good.
Maybe he needs to give us a week, Ricky.
Negotiate that, right? Any questions for Ricky? Thank you very much, Ricky. EM Director Greg Cary.
On the side note, Simmons seat says you better be ready.
We've ordered a lot of salt, but I don't know that we've ordered enough, so we're going back to the well again.
We got those signs, when the National Weather Service come. Eugene ordered 3 more. We have one for each in the county, in each direction. I've talked to Bobby helping me with the state, because they're the ones that has to put them up. They're in the process of getting that done, so hopefully within the next week, we'll have those signs up. And
For those, just a moment, for those that are watching online who don't know what those signs are, that's our storm-ready signs that will be put up. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And I got an email from Will, local, the hazard mitigation guy, and they accepted our closeout. I still have just turned in a photo report, and I have a couple more that I have to continue to do, but the safe room is completely, according to FEMA, it's actually closed out.
And I absolutely want that in the meeting minutes that finally, since starting in 2016, our safe room is now closed out, done, operational, and we're proud of
Just
it.
a couple more quarterly reports that has to be done, but other than,
Perfect.
according to FEMA, we're done. The quarterly reports is through EMs.
Perfect, perfect. Any questions for our EM Director? Thank you very much, Greg. ABC Officer Junior Smith. Happy belated birthday to our ABC Officer Junior Smith.
August, $273,835.14. Year to date, we're at $1,605,354.82. August regulatory, $16,601.67. Year to date, $78,909.08.
Any questions for our ABC Officer? Thank you very much, Junior. Cumberland County Jailer Thomas J. Bryan.
Thomas J. Bryan, Cumberland County Jail. We had a total of 36 runs in September, 27 to Adair, 1 to Russell, 2 to Taylor, 1 to Bowen, 2 to Shelby County, 1 to Wayne County, 1 to LaGrange, 1 to Carthage, Tennessee, and 1 to Hillsborough, Missouri, for a total of 3,802 miles. As of the first day of the month, we had 18 in Adair. As of today, we have 13. There's a total of 14 on home incarceration for 265 days, saving the county approximately $9,540 per day.
Appreciate that very much, Mr. Jailer. I want to specifically say to you and to your team, several members of the court already know this, you all are ran to death on a lot of the runs that you do, and you all still made time to show up to the Cumberland County Town Hall a few weeks ago. That meant a lot to every member of this court, but for me personally, it really meant a lot to see you, your leadership, and your team there. So appreciate that you showed up. Thank you. This time I'll ask, I don't think Burkesville Mayor Laurel Irby is able to be with us. She had sent an email saying that she regretted that she wouldn't be able to make this meeting. Sheriff Keaton Williams.
Hello, everyone. For last month, our totals are, we answered 316 complaints, had 62 traffic stops. We had 5 non-injury vehicle accidents. On the flip side, we had 1 injury vehicle accident, made 7 arrests. We also discussed the truck at last month's meeting. We did get the order, it is going to be forfeited to the sheriff's office.
Okay, great.
However, there are some issues with that order, so we got to get it amended. Once we do that, we'll get it into the sheriff's office name and then surplus it. We'll be able to let the county have it, so hopefully it'll be.
Thank you, Sheriff.
quick.
How's the other vehicle working out for you?
Good.
Great.
Everything's good.
Perfect. Any questions for the sheriff? Thank you very much, sir. Cumberland County Court Clerk Bryan Morgan. Cumberland County PVA Gina Shaye Watson. Cumberland County Coroner Gary White. County Attorney Coleman Hurt.
No report, Judge.
Animal Control Officer Danny Groce.
September was basically just like August, not very many pickups at all. Looks like October though was gonna make up for both those months. We picked up 3 dogs and 1 cat in September. And as of today, when I was over there, we had 26 dogs and 2 cats at the shelter. And they only have 22 kennels. A lot of them are doubled up, and we have, right now, we have more dogs at the shelter than we've ever had. We have 9 dogs from Cumberland County.
And that's the most we've ever had.
Yeah, at one time. But the reason is, like I said, this month, I had to pick up, I picked up 7 dogs
From one place.
Yeah. That's what's gonna bring our numbers up this month. But,
Okay.
we've also got several dogs adopted out. Matter of fact, I got one adopted out today. We had a bloodhound. I found a home for it today. She come and got it, so.
The 9 that we've got in there now, the 7 that came all at once, were they puppies or?
5 puppies,
5
a
puppies.
mother, and then another
Okay.
dog.
Okay, okay.
9's the most dogs we've had in there from Cumberland County.
And we've been more than paying for our fair share.
I'm just gonna say, you know, it's kind of one-sided. It seems like that's the report we get all the time. And we pay for half the feed and everything, so, you guys are doing a good job. I appreciate what y'all are doing.
And
We try to get rid of as many as we can, you know, through other agencies.
That's
and
exactly right.
Individuals.
And I'll say this, and you all have heard me say it before, and you all have all, at one time or another, commented on it in a very favorable way of our animal control team. The Clinton County team, I'm sure they're great too, but I am most aware of the good work that under Danny's leadership as animal control officer and the rest of our team that they're doing. I mean, it is a big deal when you get in 7 dogs at a time, but then, I mean, there is active, don't take offense to this, but there is active on social media trying to get these dogs adopted out, as some of the youngest people in the community are about what they're having for supper. I mean, it is a big deal that they're working way outside of normal hours to try to make sure that these animals have a good home, where we don't have repeat offenders trying to come pick up these 7, now come pick up these 14, now come pick up these 5. That is a problem that they have been able to largely address, and you're always going to have some of that issue, but really appreciate what you all are doing and the partnerships that you all have formed. I do want you all to know Danny and Matt and Bryan have taken the initiative themselves. It's not a directive, it's the initiative themselves to form these partnerships with other agencies where we do have a place that will take these other animals. And I don't know if you all saw it, I think it was maybe last week, when you all got a shopping cart full of stuff to donate, right?
Yes.
I mean, that is a big deal that it would be easier. It would be easier on them, and I want everybody that's here and watching to understand this. It is a lot easier on them if the shelter is full. Because then, every time somebody calls, I'm sorry, we can't come pick up that dog right now. I'm sorry, we can't take care of that right now. But they don't want a full shelter. They want to get those out, get those animals adopted. That's more work on them, but it does reflect really, really favorably on Cumberland County, on your all's leadership for seeing quality team members and then bringing them on board. But Danny, to you and your team, A+ job.
Thank you very much. I will mention, they've got some good workers, Clayton County workers, but, you know, it's like I guess people started to hear me say this, but we don't have a dog problem, we have a people problem. And I hate to say it, Clayton County's got a double people problem, because they're, like right now, they've got 17 dogs in there.
Madam Clerk, keep that out of the record if you don't.
I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but it's always that way. It always runs more on the side.
Understood.
I don't know the reason, but.
Well, I think one of the reasons that our numbers are as low as they are is because we've got good leadership with you all and appreciate what you're doing there.
Danny, they might argue they've got twice the population we've got.
Maybe that's, maybe they're bringing it over from Tennessee line.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Danny. Moving on to our Civics Club report, we'll have our Civics Club County Attorney, Mr. Aiden Capps, who will deliver the report. Our Civics Club Judge Executive, Sadie Arterburn, was unable to be with us today.
Good afternoon. This past month, recently, we are co-signing a Youth and Public Service Proclamation. That was today. We also had our monthly talk around town where we discussed tonight's events. We helped with the town hall that occurred on September 25th. And this past month, we served 173 households. That's all.
Questions for our Civics Club County Attorney? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I want to specifically at this time on that note mention 2 new faces to the court. I hope they're new at this meeting, but I hope they'll be returning faces that you all will see. They're 2 of our newest Civics Club members. These 2 young ladies seated in front of you have a lot of potential. Not to say that other folks don't, but they have already demonstrated a lot of potential. Afifa is a sibling to Emma, who you all know. She's in Romania right now and sends her best from afar. She has maybe 10-ish more months, 9-ish more months over there. We're keeping in touch with her weekly. It must be something in that family that has a good hard work ethic, because she's demonstrated equally as much as Emma that she is focused on helping the people around her. Abby is a relative of one of our Cumberland County Road Department members, so she comes from, I guess as you all would say, in the cattle business, District 2 and District 4, that's talk, I guess, but Abby has helped a lot with the Cumberland County Town Hall. We simply could not have done it without her leadership and her friends there, so we appreciate what you all did and the help that they'll be providing us tonight. When we go to open these bids, they'll be making a lot of copies in a very short period of time and handing those out so that we can review them. Ladies, thank you for being here. Moving on to old business, notice of county road corrections and cleanup resolution. Gentlemen, I have brought this up to you now, I don't know, 6, 7 times. This is our final time. I'm as excited about this as I would be my own birthday, because it'll finally be behind us. Again, for those that are here today and for those watching, Mr. County Attorney, correct me if you believe any of this to be wrong. This is a cleanup resolution. We are not adding any roads that haven't been added to the county road system before. We are simply communicating to the state these signed affidavits that you, members of the road department and property owners, acknowledge these roads have been maintained for a specified period of time, that for whatever reason they were simply left off of the state system. We are committed to doing things by the book from start to finish, and we want to get these cleaned up. Now, that's part of it. The other part of it is we get a lot of our money based on how many roads of county maintained pavement we've got. There are several of these roads that were wrong, that were short, or that were classified as gravel instead of asphalt. By correcting a lot of these, that helps us financially too. So I appreciate what you all have done. A couple of you have made the comment to me over the last few days, Judge, that was a lot more work than I expected. Well, ditto. It was a lot of work. We've got over 300 miles of county road, and when you start looking at an internal audit where we're measuring feet to see if this 482 feet is correct, or if it should have been 524 feet, that is a lot of work, and I want every single one of your all's constituents in your districts to know you've been out there with a wheel, wheeling that off. You've been out there knocking on doors, trying to get signatures on these affidavits saying, yes, the county's maintained it for 15 years. I appreciate that. It has not been easy, but we are finally at a point where, with your all's approval tonight, we will be working and incorporating all those corrections in. What I would ask from each of you is that in the motion here, if it be the will of the court to adopt these, to correct these roads and the lengths of them, I'm asking you to give me until Friday to get them submitted. Now, if any of you do want to push back, I may bring up that you all have had 4.5 months to get them together, so give me 4 days to get them submitted. But I do think that if we take until Friday to get those turned in to Frankfurt, that gives me time to actually correct the whole spreadsheet and get those in. I do need the copies that you all will have of your signed petition. District 3, now I use yours as examples. Okay, so we've got a stock of cemetery, road measuring 575 feet with the signatures on there. I will be going in and putting these copies, these originals, into a folder and then taking the names of all the roads and the road footage to submit that to the Area Development District and the state. We are very, very appreciative to the Area Development District and the state for allowing these changes to be made, these corrections to be made, and we appreciate the general public of Cumberland County and their patience, because we have not been able to work on these roads if they're not part of the county road system and recognized as such. We know that they were, over the last many decades, acting as part of the county road system, but now this is us cleaning up a mess that was made long before you all came in here. Appreciate you doing the work to fix it. Any questions on that, gentlemen?
Will those be submitted by the district or just as a whole thing?
Good question. The question was, will those roads be submitted per district or as a whole thing? They'll be submitted as an entire list, and the way that that will work, it will be every single road in Cumberland County. Okay? Now, a lot of roads in Cumberland County, there's no change. There's absolutely no change. But what we will do, we will identify on that list, this one has a correction. So then the reason for that is because it will bear my signature then at the bottom saying, we do agree, these are the roads that we're going to maintain, and only these roads are going to be what we maintain. So that's why, to the members of the road department that are here, since that joker's got my signature on the bottom of it, that's why I am so protective of our work on just county roads, okay? That is extremely important. That will all be as a document, and then of course Eugenia will get you all a list that is accepted by the state and by the region saying, yes, we recognize that's what your roads are now. Good question.
It is really a big deal, especially on corrections on the pavement, because I had over 4 miles in my district that's still listed as gravel. So if we can get all 4 miles changed over, it's going to bring a lot of revenue into the county.
That's exactly right. And are you saying that if we do get more money in, then you'd like to have that?
I'd like to have my 4 miles worth.
Okay. I'll let everybody else study on that too, make sure they're good with it. So at this time, gentlemen, do any of you have any more petitions that you would like to, or affidavits, not petitions, that you would like to submit to have as official corrections for the county road system? District 2, do you have some?
I'll go for you.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, bear with me just for a minute. I just want to make sure that we've got what we need, and then we'll move on to acceptable motion. Road Supervisor Ricky Melton, do you have anything that I have left out or County Attorney Coleman heard? I know you all have been integral in this entire process. Anything that I've left out?
I don't have anything. I echo what I think this is a bigger deal than people realize. This corrects a long-standing issue and will make everything legitimate. And like you said, Judge, this is not something that, it's not an addition, it's not an alteration, it's not an expansion of anything that exists. It's just a recognition of the way things are now. And because the court speaks through its records, this makes everything above board, which is the way we all want it. So it's a good thing.
Perfect. Appreciate that very, very much. Magistrate District 2.
I've got, on this road here, I don't have a form filled out on it. So this is something that will come into play because it's just a correction of.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, that will be, I can include that one in there. What we will need to do, just for the record, to have highway drive on there for the record, before our road supervisor and co-assistant road supervisor leave, I'll have that then just verbally added into this. I need you all to sign that. The difference there is that road has not been, and you all remember signing a lot of those, that they've been maintained for 15 years. That one has not, okay? But that one is one where we're talking about a few feet of difference, but this is largely to Magistrate District 2's credit. A few feet of difference is still different, and I appreciate your attention to detail and wanting that to be right. So just before you all leave, we'll execute that document, but now verbally we'll have that included with it. Okay? Thank you, Magistrate District 2. Any other member of the court have anything to submit on those at this time? If not, I will entertain a motion from the court that we adopt all roads that have signed affidavits and those verbally included, and that you all will allow me to have the necessary time to then get those submitted to the Area Development District and the state so that we can have our system up to date, as perfect, frankly, as hopefully has ever been. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
So moved by the Magistrate of District 2. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Magistrate of District 3. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. District County Attorney, now from my perspective, and I'd like your legal opinion on it too, since we have acted as a court on that, now it's just a matter of the state saying, yes, we have received it, yes, we see it. But from my perspective, now that the court's acted, the county road department may traverse those roads and work on those roads. Is that correct?
I agree, 100%.
Perfect. Ricky, Larry, and then please share that with Jared and the rest of the crew. You may proceed. Thank you very much.
So we need to make up a new list.
That's correct. Yes, the new road list. That's correct. So when this is submitted to Magistrate District 2's court, when this is submitted on that Excel spreadsheet, we will use that as soon as it's approved by the state saying, yes, we recognize it. That's what I'll send out to them, to all of you all. You can post it at the county garage. We'll have the list for us. I'll throw away every other old list that you might have gone by. We'll keep them for just records as far as comparatively speaking, but make sure we're going by that list, because remember, that will be my signature at the bottom, and I don't want any problems there. Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much. Letter B under old business, budget amendment. This is our second and final reading. Gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion at this time to proceed with the second and final reading of Budget Amendment 2025/26-02. Is there a motion to accept that budget amendment on a second and final reading?
So moved.
So moved by the Magistrate of District 2. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Magistrate of District 3. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. District 1 request, petition for potential closure on Chowning Road. Magistrate District 1, that's what we've looked at the last meeting. We had our initial review there of that road. Do you have any reason now to believe that that should not be removed?
I've not had any complaints about it.
Great. Any other member of the court? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to remove that road from county maintenance and close it.
Motion.
So moved by the Magistrate District 1. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Magistrate District 2. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. Letter D, District 2. This is an update, I think, from your part of the district down around the state park. This is a follow-up on Fanny's Creek Drive. I know we had identified that he had until September, mid-ish September. What action has been taken out there on that road?
Judge, he did get in there and get that done. What he did was gonna do. Ricky and I went out, and I've got pictures on my phone there. He got I think he hauled probably over 200 loads of topsoil in there. He's got the netting down at most. So he fixed it right, if it works.
Okay.
But we were just waiting to see if we get some rain.
Well, we appreciate that he lived up to his word on that, and appreciate you watching that, and Ricky, appreciate all that you did to assist Magistrate District 2 there.
He also put a seal fence.
Great. Well, silk fence will make a big difference.
Should have been done.
Should have been done.
Agreed.
If he'd been done beforehand, we wouldn't have had all the angry calls from his neighbors back there, but.
Well, we're glad it's done now. Glad it's done now, and appreciate everybody's work on that. Moving on to letter E, Cumberland County Flex Funds. Gentlemen, we've had a conversation with the state last week, I believe that was, checking in on some stuff. They are in receipt of our requests. They are working toward that. We do look to have those answers back as soon as possible. I will tell you, and this is very encouraging, and to Cumberland County's credit, the State Transportation Cabinet has said as soon as they get those approvals back or whatever they need back from the district, that they will turn the documents around in their office to us same day. That is a big deal for us. You do need to be aware, though, if there's anything that they need from us on any of that, expect a special call meeting from me within 24 hours then, because anything that they need, we will absolutely get them. I was a little encouraged that the reason that they said that everything's taking so long across the state right now specifically is because the LARP money, which previously was the CPP money that we're requesting, that you all turned in, that you got last year for Bethel Scott Road, it's now changed its name. But all of that was due by October 1st, I believe. And then the State Transportation Cabinet has until November 1st to get that submitted to the Kentucky General Assembly. So that means from October 1st to November 1st, they were having to go through a lot of work to try to review every one of those roads in the state. That wouldn't be so bad if judges across Kentucky, present company included, if judges across Kentucky didn't tend to wait until the last minute on any type of final request on stuff. But when you got 120 counties and some of those requests trail in at the end, that's what they're totally required to prioritize over some of the others. So they'll get to those, I expect, very soon. Magistrate District 2, I know it's not a county road, but I traveled it recently. If you're looking at 449 going out toward the state park, after you get to the top of the hill, and I think they might even be paving at the bottom of the hill this week, they've done an excellent job out through there. That looks a whole lot better and a whole lot smoother. So if you see members of the state or you see folks that are responsible for that actual paving, be sure to thank them for what they're doing. It's making a world of difference. Any questions on that, gentlemen?
Just wish we could get that hill widened out, would be a lot safer.
You and me both. We have stressed, as I think you recall from the meeting that you were in with the Transportation Cabinet, Magistrate District 1, I think you were there with us. I know the local media was there too. We have made that a priority and have stressed that that's a priority. One of the reasons for folks that are watching it here, we're talking about the 449 hill that comes off of Highway 90. That hill has had a lot of work done to it, but we made the argument that if you could just widen that just a little bit, that would make a lot of difference for a lot of the big traffic that travels that road. It was originally engineered in a previous request prior to this administration. The previous request had been submitted to reroute that road, which if you had all the money in the world, might be the way to go. But rerouting that road took that from a, what did we look at, like a $2 million project to a $15 million project. And we are going to be hard pressed to secure a $15 million project. $2 million project is a much easier reach up and grab. So that's what we're looking at right now. Yes, sir. Great, Cary.
They started today, the state started today, working on the shoulders over there. So
Perfect.
there's going to be temporary road closures in that area.
Temporary road closures, gentlemen, tell folks that you know, or if you travel that for the folks that watch this. And we're talking about temporary road closures from Highway 90 where you turn. Okay. Perfect. Okay, 1351 back to 90. That's the whole hill section there at the bottom, kind of Ernest Anderson stretch. All right, gentlemen, let's move to a very important topic, not that the others are not, but a much anticipated topic here. Ladies, I'll need you and our Police County Attorney to help with these copies. This is the bid opening for the splash pad and the community pavilion. Splash pad and restroom buildings. Apex Design Group out of LaGrange. County Attorney, I'll ask that you make copies of that, please. Gentlemen, they have provided us with a packet. Splash pad measuring 30 by 35, concrete, spray features, splash pad equipment, plumbing, mechanical and labor, mobilization and site restoration. This includes restrooms measuring 16 by 16. That's the restroom part of it with the mechanical room. The men's restroom will be 6 by 8. Toilet, sink, baby changing station, and all accessories. Women's restroom, 6 by 8 feet. Toilet, sink, baby changing station, and all accessories, and a 10 by 16 mechanical room. The price is broken down, which we requested. The splash pad will be $320,000. Restrooms and mechanical room, $150,000. Grand total for both together, $470,000. This has got a lot of their description of work also. I want you all to make sure that you look at this. Payment of terms. Okay, this is why you review things. Payment of terms, 50% due before project starts, 25% due upon completion of the restrooms, mechanical building, 25% due upon completion of the project. Gentlemen, you'll notice, we're making copies of it right now. In the bid packet, I'm not going to get the language verbatim. In the bid packet, it had indicated that the contractors would provide the labor, the materials, that kind of thing. They would invoice us for it, and then naturally we would, upon favorable inspection, cut the checks for that, approve those expenses. This does, and again, we need to look at the bid packet to confirm. This does look a little different in what they've provided, where 50% would be due before the project starts. Now, my only concern with that is, if we've got folks, and I think it's okay to say, I don't think that this is problematic, we sent out 6 or 7 bid packets for the splash pad and then the pavilion as 2 separate packets. Remember, that's how we had it approved. Some of the concern was that not everybody had the financial luxury of having $250,000. Thank you very much, Amy. Not everybody had the luxury of having $250,000 where they could construct it and then expect payment back from us, which is perfectly reasonable. I get that. But if we are going to consider this under their payment terms here, I do think we need to consider whether or not we had folks that didn't bid that would have if they had those same terms. Does that make sense, gentlemen? I mean, is that reasonable to you all?
It's reasonable to me. That's 50% up front. That's a lot, because, most bids are considered materials, 50% for labor.
Agreed.
And they want all the materials paid for up front, which you're requesting payment in more than 2 payments, aren't they? So that's
right. So I do think, again, that's not anything to necessarily act on right now, but something just to keep in the back of your mind. I want you all to be able to take a look at this. I am extremely pleased that we've got, it looks like, at least 2 bids on this kind of thing, and for those that have sat through a lot of our meetings before, it is important that if you're gonna make a decision like this, you make it after careful consideration, so I don't want anyone here to feel rushed at tonight's meeting on a decision as we continue to open the rest of these. They do have in this packet, here some really neat features. Spray features, water features. I wish we had this where everybody here could see this. We'll try to, of course, get you all copies of this, gentlemen, before you leave. Oh, good, they've got some renderings in here of how that would look. Good, and the designs. Start with District 1 if you would, take a look at that and pass that down. Okay, gentlemen. Cumberland County Fiscal Court Community Pavilion bid. Apex Design Group. Copies of this, please. Thank you. From LaGrange, Kentucky, a 40 by 80 timber frame pavilion, broken down concrete installation, staying, light switch gear, panel conduit, hardware and installation, mobilization and site restoration, for a total of $437,600. Description of work is included. Excellent detail there. Payment terms, 50% due before the project starts, 25% due upon completion of timber frame structure and installation, 25% due upon completion of project. Payment terms are flexible and will be structured in compliance with local procurement regulations. Lead time, work can be scheduled to begin as soon as practical following the contract execution. All work scheduled to be completed prior to 5/10/2026. All freight and delivery charges are included in the bid estimate unless otherwise specified. Thank you, Sadie. Oh, wow. Gentlemen, they've included some visuals in this packet also. And they do have, which is great, because that's what we were looking for, they do have a certificate of liability insurance. Wonderful. So they have included that. They did include it on the appropriate bid forms. Magistrate District 4, I'm going to start with you on this one. If you would take a look, you and the county attorney. You take a look at that. Okay, gentlemen, you have the two bids from Apex. Bluegrass Recreation. This is Johnny Kane. Johnny Kane is the young man that attended our previous meetings. He was a representative from the, what would that be, maybe March meeting when we talked about it then, or could have been just even a little before that. He was not able to be with us today. He said that his supervisor had sent him on another job that had him too far away to make it back in time. Judge King and Fiscal Court members, thank you for the opportunity to bid your project. I would like to make some clarifications to go along with my quote and the final numbers. 1, no perimeter fence is included, but can be priced when final layout is approved. We are not in control of the building permits and drawing approval by the state of Kentucky. Therefore, May 2026 completion may not be possible for the restrooms and pavilion. That will depend on the approval process. So they're not saying that they can't do it, or I take it that they're not saying they can't do it, but that may be beyond their control. We will submit shortly afterward, after the award of the project. Number 3, price assumes that utilities are available at the property, that's sewer, water, and electric. We have price taking the lines to the restroom, splash pad, and pavilion. Please let me know if you have any questions or need any clarifications. They do have the splash pad, men and women's restroom, and a pavilion, and it looks like a sidewalk in the diagram that they've provided. Sir, I'll switch. Mr. P. Maybe if you would, or if I don't have to go ahead and make copies of that. Okay. Bluegrass splash pad proposal. Huh. Gina, would you please pull the previous bid that we received on the splash pad? Of course, it's not valid now, but for comparative purposes. Okay, we've got this divided a couple different ways, it looks like. And they do have their proof of insurance. So while she's pulling that on the splash pad, thank you so much, Shaye. While she's pulling that on the splash pad, let's touch base on the pavilion here. Bluegrass 40 by 80 pavilion with room for expansion, including footer, stone, slab, PEMB, lighting, electrical, and fans. Unit price $245,400. Thank you very much. General conditions, that's the bond, architectural fees, mobilization, insurance, and dumpsters, $29,700. Grading, drainage, erosion control, $36,800. Sidewalk, $13,500. Site utilities, $14,650. Utilities from property line to within 5 feet of structures. Total amount, $340,050. Okay, down payment with order. So this is similar, thank you, Master District 1. This is similar to what we talked about with the other. They've got it listed that the down payment with the order is $50,000. This is just for the pavilion now. And then their liability insurance. Okay, if you would, make me copies of this. Okay. Now, gentlemen, I know this is a lot of paperwork here. Okay, that's what I thought my memory was. The bid for the splash pad, mechanicals, and all the spray features, installation, plumbing, electrical, sanitary hookups, drawing permits, all of that total, $200,361. Eugenia, will you please help them troubleshoot this copy machine up here? $200,361. Gentlemen, for reference, the bid back in, not sure what month that was, earlier this year, March and April of this year, was $199,270. So, I mean, all things considered, we really dodged any type of major increases there on that bid. That is encouraging. Down payment with this order would be $87,272.90. Restroom facility with mechanical room. Now this is separate. Restroom facility with mechanical room. $275,200. That's grading, drainage, erosion control, site utilities, also includes the mechanical work. $50,000 down payment with the order, certificate of liability insurance is included. They've got the spray features outlined for us. They do have some visual aids for us, which is wonderful. Okay. Gentlemen, start that with District 1. Let me get this confused now. District 4, this is headed your way to take a look at. Okay. You've received, or in the process of receiving, the bids that we have, copies of the bids that we have here. Kind of know what you're working with. I know that this is an extremely intentional court. So with all of that information, in order to be able to process it, I am not opposed and arguably would recommend that you consider taking this information, thinking about this information, and then certainly not delaying any type of decision on it, but being able to carefully consider everything that's been submitted to us so that you all can go over all of the packets.
Judge, I don't want to get into a deal like we did with the bridges where we weren't comparing apples to apples that night. So if we could take a few days and look at these, because when you look at the total for the bathrooms and the splash pad both are very, very similar. If we could take, just a few days and call a special call meeting and get back. I move that we do that.
I agree. Gentlemen, any other thoughts, comments, or a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by the Magistrate of District 1. Now, we'll proceed to vote on this, but I want to make sure, point of clarification here, we're not saying anything other than, thank you very much, Eddie, that we need time to review these. Is that correct? Okay, very good. Now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Let's see. Now, what we'll do, gentlemen, since we've got that, want to make sure before, sorry, I knocked that off on you there, Master District 3. Before you all leave tonight, let's make sure that you've got complete copies of, turn your mics off for me if you can, that you've got complete copies of all of that before you leave so that you can review it. I'm sure that several of the folks who mentioned that they were interested in bidding have also talked to you all. As far as those payment terms are concerned, that's also something to keep in mind, because if that does change, if we're willing to accept something different, then we need to acknowledge that's a little different. Okay? Thank you very much. And that back down this way. Any questions on that, gentlemen? Okay. With respect to a special call, would you all be open to that being sometime later this week?
Yeah.
District 4, District 1?
Okay.
Okay. District 1?
Yes.
Okay. Any final comments?
Not on Friday.
Not on Friday. Okay. Okay. Not on Friday. We'll try to stay away from Friday. We'll look at Thursday. I don't know off the top of my head what the schedule looks like for Thursday, but if not Thursday, then we will shoot just as quick as possible. But again, big thing, don't leave until everybody has complete copies of everything here. Okay, moving on to new business. We've got several things here, all of which will move, I imagine, thank you very much, fairly quickly. Cash transfers. Gentlemen, you have in your packet cash transfers. Cash transfers in the amount of $20,000 from the general fund to the jail fund. $20,000 from the general fund to the jail fund. I'll entertain a motion for that transfer. So moved by the Magistrate of District 1, seconded by the Magistrate of District 3. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion passes. Transfers, budget transfers are also in your packet. You have very few, but you do have some in your packet. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
Motion.
So moved by the Magistrate of District 3. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Excuse me, is there a second? Seconded by the Magistrate of District 1. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion passes. This time I'll entertain a motion to pay the bills. That's letter C, paying the bills or the warrants. Is there a motion to do so? So moved by the manager of District 2. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by the manager of District 3. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. Letter D, under new business, I welcome to the podium Dr. Elijah Wilson of the IDA. He's the chairman of the Cumberland County Industrial Development Authority. He has an opportunity that he'd like to present to us.
Thank you for allowing me to come and speak to you again. Judge, members of the court, I'm pleased to announce phase 1 of development at the Cumberland River Industrial Park has been completed. This phase resulted in approximately 13 acres of graded land, making the site suitable for future industrial and commercial development. The Burkesville Cumberland County Industrial Authority will now proceed with a formal bidding process for phases 2 and phases 3. Phase 2 will include the completion of the access road and extension of water, sewer, electric, and gas utilities onto the site. Phase 3 will include additional earthwork and site improvements to further enhance the marketability and site readiness. Together, these efforts will make the Cumberland River Industrial Park development ready and more attractive to private investment, supporting long-term job growth, economic opportunity in Cumberland County. And so we wanted to come to here and let you guys know that in the coming weeks, we will be having an open bid process. Our next IDA meeting is October the 22nd. And at that meeting, we will be reviewing all the details that will be included in the bidding process, and with the bidding process to begin as soon as possible after that. We know that for sure we'll keep the bidding open for at least 21 days. And then as part of that, we will have a meeting with the engineer on site. So anybody that is interested in bidding, they can come out, review the plans, and ask any questions that they can. And then I've also got in my calendar for next month at Fiscal Court that I will be here again to try to get as many people as possible. So if you don't mind, please share this with anybody that you know, because we want to have hopefully a lot of local people to be able to bid the next couple of phases of development. And I'd entertain any questions.
Did I understand phase 2 would be road access?
Yes.
How's that gonna go in, Dr. Wilson?
It's right where the new road is, so if you were to go out on 61, it's right there adjacent to the bus garage, and it'll be a straight shot. So right now, if you go back kind of to the behind where the bus garage is, they have laid rock that's already out there on the site, and it actually goes around to the 13 acres. But our next phase will be essentially just building that road that will go kind of to what kind of looks like a cul-de-sac that will be right there. And we've already applied for one grant, hopefully to get some funding for it through the Cabinet for Economic Development, and they're actually coming down. This is the second grant application that we have applied for, trying to get additional funding. The Cabinet for Economic Development with a consulting company called the Site Selection Group that represents businesses all across the globe that are looking to expand and relocate, specifically in Kentucky. They'll both be on site with us that day, and they're going to be discussing our proposal. The reason that we decided to do that next is because that's what the last 2 times that we've applied for these grants have told us that we need to do. You need to focus on access and really curb appeal to really help sell your site. And so that's what we're doing. We're listening to what the consultants do, what they told us, and that's going to be our next phase. Once we are on site with the utilities right now, and what we're including in this bid is also going to be the remaining earthwork that'll be about another 15 or 16 acres directly behind what we're using right now. So that's what our plan is right now. Most likely, we've already put in an estimate of what we think possibly this could cost. But it was really just based upon an estimate that we had for some of the earthwork 4 years ago, and just some kind of preliminary estimates that we came up with. And so we've already put in a grant proposal for that, and that's what we're hopefully we're going to be successful on. but we don't actually know how much that will cost until we get
Gotcha.
the bids back.
Good question. Other questions?
Will it be any of this job broke down like dirt work for people that does dirt work, people that does electric work?
Yes, to the best that we can. And I know that was kind of the critique last time. The size and the scope of it was not necessarily able to be done by as many people. And we got 2 bids, and we're excited about getting 2 bids. But I would love to see more bids and more competitive. And so that'll be something that we'll definitely talk to the engineer about, and you're welcome to come to that meeting and make that known, because I think that is very important, kind of like what y'all are having that discussion with earlier, you know, to making sure that it's not just going to the biggest company out there that can do it all. At the end of the day, we want it done right, but we do believe, at least from my understanding of it, that the scope of this will be, one will be phase 2 will be the earthwork, the lane of the road. So there's probably not going to be that many people that would bid on that kind of thing. But where I believe you're mentioning the earthwork phase behind that, I definitely know that those will be kind of separated out, and hopefully they would be at a scale and scope that more people could apply.
Good questions. Good answers. Other questions? Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate your work.
All right, as soon as we know the timelines, we'll make sure that gets back to you, Judge, and you can share that with magistrates.
Absolutely.
The IDA also has a Facebook page, and I will show or share all the information that I can on there. And I'll also make sure that goes on the Chamber of Commerce webpage and goes out in their monthly meeting chapter. And our engineer, whenever we get that day scheduled with our engineer, we want to make sure we publicize that well, because I would love to see 50, 60 people, well, maybe not that many, but a lot out there that are interested in it, because at the end of the day, I live here and I would love to see local people be able to get this, but at the end of the day, we've got to select, we've got to be good stewards of public dollars.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Wilson. We appreciate it. Moving on to letter E under new business, District 3, first reading of a potential road closure. Magistrate District 3, I have here a petition to close a portion of Franklin Spears Spur. Is that correct?
Yes.
Being a distance of 30 feet, and then in width as being known as by the county road system, Franklin Spears Spur. It does look like it has a signature from Bryan Spears. Mr. County Attorney, is there any reason that you know of that we shouldn't move forward and consider this first reading?
No, appears to be in order.
Thank you very much, sir. Magistrate District 3, anything final that you'd like to add? If not, we will advertise that and entertain a second and final reading at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, if you would, we will advertise that and have that brought up at the next meeting. Next item under new business is consideration of an updated interlocal agreement with the Cumberland County Board of Education. Gentlemen, you have that in your packet. This is what we mentioned today on the local radio station, Talk Around Town. This gives us the authority and frankly also the responsibility to make sure that when we're taking care of our county roads, if the school needs their drive out there and their parking lot straight, this gives us the authority to do that. Now, Mr. County Attorney, you correct me if I'm wrong on this, but this is the kind of document that is required, even though I know we think government is government, but the Cumberland County Board of Education has a separate tax base, has a separate budget, has a separate entity that governs them than what we have. This is why, in order to do something that is in fact like this in the public interest, we have to act as a court saying, yes, we agree that our county road department and our county equipment can do it. Also, from a liability standpoint, if we get hurt there, now we've got it on solid footing that we have permission to be there. Mr. County Attorney, anything to add?
No, that's right. That's what the state of Kentucky told us. If we want to do it, this is the way to do it.
Very good, very good. And this is why, gentlemen, just because there are other, and we got hit on this last year from the state because we got so many eyes from the state on us from different other things. this is where they had indicated, even if you have different county entities, if it's not a Cumberland County Fiscal Court entity, we need something like this in order to be able to do it. Short of that, it's a no-go. So, gentlemen, you've had that in advance. I'm sure you've reviewed it. I'll entertain a motion to allow me to execute that and then put the signed copy in our file. Is there a motion to that effect? So moved by Magistrate District 1. Is there a second? Oh, hold on. Road Supervisor.
Yes. This proposal that you're doing and everything, is this going to cover us no matter what? If they send.
If you run into the store, you might have a call.
I said, if they send us a request.
No, on turnarounds.
And they want to rock a.
No,
parking
no.
bus.
No, definitely not. That's an excellent question. So this is not a blanket interlocal agreement that says whatever they want, we have to deliver. Definitely not. This interlocal agreement says, and I'll give you, if you'll allow me, because it's just 3 little paragraphs. Whereas the fiscal court currently provides for all the maintenance necessary for county roads in Cumberland County, and as such has all necessary equipment relating thereto. Whereas the Cumberland County Board of Education is responsible for providing educational opportunities for all children in Cumberland County, thereby requiring ingress and egress across its properties for vehicles transporting children and faculty. Whereas the parties hereto are desirous of entering into this agreement, wherein the Cumberland County Fiscal Court agrees to provide for the removal of snow and/or ice from the road areas controlled by the Cumberland County Board of Education. Whereas the parties hereto are desirous of entering into this agreement, wherein the Cumberland County Fiscal Court agrees to provide reasonable vegetation control, so that's like spraying at the elementary school, reasonable vegetation control measures for properties owned by the Cumberland County Board of Education upon request. Now therefore be it resolved that the legislative bodies of the Cumberland County Fiscal Court, acting by and through its authorized agent Luke King, Cumberland County Judge Executive, and the Cumberland County School Board, acting by and through its authorized agent Kirk Biggerstaff, hereby make this agreement relating to the use of equipment owned by the Cumberland County Fiscal Court for the purpose of clearing and removing snow or ice from roadways, and to provide reasonable vegetation control measures upon request of the property owned by Cumberland County Board of Education. Absolutely nothing about bus turnarounds. That doesn't mandate that we're then in any way obligated to do that. Now, with respect to bus turnarounds though, we do have the opportunity for a bus turnaround if we've got county right-of-way or that's a county road. Outside of that, and Mr. County Attorney, please correct me if this is not the case. Outside of that, this goes back to what we talked about 20 minutes ago. The whole reason that we did what we did on that cleanup bill and resolution is because this administration has said, if it's not a county road, we're not going to put county tax dollars or any type of county assets on it or toward it. And that means bus turnarounds. If it's on the county right-of-way, that's an existing observed turnaround that is part of the county road system, that is one thing. But going off of that is a no-go. Mr. County Attorney, is that correct?
Yep. Fix the place to park the bus.
I'm sorry?
To fix the place to park the bus at somebody's house.
Even with that, off of the county road system, and that's been as recent as 2 weeks ago, we heard back from Frankfurt that it's not a, probably not, it's not a, you shouldn't, it was a no. No.
And what you're describing though is if they're full of a joint county right of way.
That's correct.
That's approved to do that.
If that's part of our county road system, we're in order for that bus or our equipment. Now, to be fair though, if that's empty and we need to use it then on a snow day, we get to use that. I mean, if the county is putting that in for county benefit, that's an asset to the county that we can turn around a grader into a dump truck or something like that. But we can't go on the back 40 and say, let me grab that for you. No, we cannot.
We have certain places that do have a turnaround halfway through a 5-mile road.
Yeah.
And that child quits going, they want to come back a mile or whatever back up the road and make another turnaround so that the bus don't have to travel all the way up to their turnaround. We've had that happen quite a bit. And we're creating another turnaround in somebody's driveway.
I think that's less a question of permissibility as much as it is, or more it is a question of financial stability, that doesn't make any sense to me from a financial perspective. If you've got a turnaround that might be just a little bit down the road, use the turnaround that's just a little bit down the road. Now, I'm not trying to be smart or difficult, but if you have an existing good turnaround, then why would we not use that?
Well, I think to what Ricky's talking about there, it could mean driving 2 miles further just to turn the bus around. You know, if you've got between this last pickup, or next to the last one, there's a 5 mile stretch. And they've got a turnaround down here, or even, well, they'd have to have the turnaround at that end, you know.
Yeah.
But if they don't have a turnaround, say this kid graduates or gets old enough that they're driving or whatever, and they're not riding the school bus anymore, then the bus needs a place to turn around 5 miles back up the road, you understand?
And I do understand that, and I guess, and I'm not trying to be hard to get along with here, but my perspective would be, and you want kids to graduate, you want kids to move on. We don't want to have the same kids going to school for 30 years. But I do think there's a certain amount of responsibility then that if we're going to do some of that work, I would have an expectation that the school would then say, well, certainly we're going to cover that expense then. Because we've already got, as we've said many times before, more roads than we can pray over as it is. I'm not going door to door asking for more work on that. So I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, but there's got to be some skin in the game from both sides.
That's what I was getting at. In the past, we've had to do that quite a bit. We'd have a turnaround fix, and then whatever happened, 3 months later or whatever, they said, well, we're not doing there anymore, they moved or whatever, and we need a turnaround back up here. And of course, we fix turnarounds on state roads also.
Mm-hmm. Do you see a reason, Mr. County Attorney, and if we need to take a look at this, don't give me an answer this evening because we don't have to take action on that right now. But do you see a reason that it wouldn't be acceptable for us as a fiscal court to ask the school, if you want us to install, you're on the hook for the materials?
Yeah, I think probably some type of working agreement on something like that.
Similar to what we've got in
Florida. I think that'd be a good conversation to have.
But I don't know that we do that without something like this, right?
Yeah, that's right. And a landowner's always got the option of giving the county a right of way. The problem is most people don't do that.
And we've had that conversation, and to that point, it's not always that the option or the solution that we're given by the state is not always the most popular, but I mean, that's the option that we're presented with. And if they don't want to do it, I mean, nobody's being made to do it, so. Yes.
If we have to obtain right away, I mean, the school should go and have that done, and they send us the request for turnaround, they should have everything legal in hand, and we don't have to go out there and hunt people down, try to get a petition signed, to get the right of way.
I don't have any problem with that.
Not be the best way.
Yeah, I don't have any problem in the world with that.
I agree with that 100% because if they're requesting it, they need to have the things in place for the request that they're presenting them.
Mm-hmm.
And that way it'll be a lot easier to act on.
I agree.
If the driver gets off the gravel and gets in the yard and gets stuck, they can't come back on us and say, well.
I think that's smart.
Y'all tore my yard up and who's gonna fix it?
I think that's very, very smart.
Go out there and fix it probably,
Yeah.
but either way.
So we've got a motion on the floor in a second, and then I want to circle back around to this potential motion. All those in favor of the active motion that's been seconded to accept the interlocal agreement, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion passes. I might have doubled up on that if we did. Well, it's a certain thing now that it's been done twice. The other thing, the topic there from the road supervisor, Magistrate District 2, I'll entertain a motion if you want to make it to that effect, that in order for us to entertain any, and this is not anything until we get it in writing like this, but in order for us to even entertain those kinds of discussions, it is the opinion of the court that the Board of Education or their agent would need to make sure that they've got all that necessary paperwork coming to us. Is that your motion?
Yes.
Is there a second to that? Seconded by the Magistrate District 3. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Moving on, new business to Youth in Public Service Day. Gentlemen, we executed prior to this meeting a joint proclamation with the Cumberland County Civics Club. I will read this for the record, and then we'll naturally share this, send this out to the media outlets and the general public. Proclamation. Whereas November 4th, 2025 is Election Day in the United States. Whereas voting is not only a right, but a responsibility of all eligible, civic-minded Americans. Whereas the younger generation of these United States is the future of our country. Whereas the younger generation desires to be involved in discussions at all levels of government. Whereas the youth of Cumberland County have earned a positive reputation throughout our region and the state for taking an active role in public service. Whereas our local youth want to serve as a positive example to all eligible voters by encouraging citizens across the United States to participate in the democratic process of voting. Whereas thousands of brave men and women have died protecting our right to show up at our respective polling places on Election Day each year and speak by voting. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Luke King, Cumberland County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim October the 17th, 2025 as Youth in Public Service Day in Cumberland County. I encourage everyone involved in public service to thank each member of the younger generation who desires to one day serve in a similar way. Gentlemen, this will now be, with your permission, entered into the public and permanent record. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
So moved by the Master of District 2. Is there a second? Seconded by the Master of District 3. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion passes. Letter H, court consideration of our agreement. Mr. EM Director, if you would be prepared for the questions you've got here. This is just a contract that's extended for supplemental funding. You all see the email there. Cumberland County was one of a few counties that was approved for that. That's not 120 counties. That's what, maybe a dozen, less than a dozen counties there. We are pleased that we have received that. This contract modification does require that I sign it. I did not want to do that without your all's approval. That's also included in there. Is there a motion to approve that?
Motion.
So moved by the Master of District 1. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by the Master of District 3. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. Letter I, court consideration of judge executive nominations. Cumberland County Library Board met this week. They are sending us some names there. Those have to go through Frankfurt before they come back to us. I'll let you know when I have those, and I'll bring forth a slate of other names as well. Letter J, county road crew dinner hour schedule. I would like to have a motion from the court that the Cumberland County Road Department goes back to their previous schedule, going off of their 4 days at 10 hours a day, returning to 5 days at 8 hours a day because of the time change. I would ask that the court consider the way that that schedule works out. We're talking about the last, okay, this would be the last week of October, would be their final week on the current schedule. Their week starts on Saturdays, which is November the 1st. I am proposing to the court that as of November 1st, they return to 5 8-hour days. Is there a motion to that effect? So moved by the Master of District 3. Is there a second?
Second.
Second to the Master of District 1. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. Motion passes. As a reminder for District 2, District 4, and all those that live in your respective districts, District 2, we will have the community office hours for your district tomorrow. That will be held at the Cumberland County Annex. I believe the time is 2 p.m. tomorrow at the Cumberland County Annex. Magistrate District 4, yours will be held next Monday. I think that is October the 20th. Maribel Volunteer Fire Department. Would invite anybody who's interested to attend those meetings. Gentlemen, do you have any new or unfinished business which should properly come before the meeting? If not, Ricky Melton, Road Supervisor.
The existing bus turnarounds that we're maintaining right now, that we've done in the past, we need to not do anything.
No, we're not talking about existing, we're talking about installations. We're talking about installation there. Let me get back with the Board of Ed on a proposed interlocal agreement on something with existing, which will be different than proposed locations. Good question.
So that's what we've been doing, I mean, you know, some of us gonna be out of whack, but I'm just saying, maybe we don't need to do any more of those, and they send us a fresh request, and they not put on the existing,
Well, they would have to do that anyway, don't they?
they do.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though, but going forward, any request, like on existing turnaround, they should get the right of way and have all that done.
If we're doing anything new or extra, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No.
He's saying. I'm saying,
Legally on the county right away, whatever.
Oh.
you know, when we've already done something that's, we ain't done nothing wrong.
We had a really good meeting right up till right now, Rick. No, I think that's fair. I think if we've got anything like that, and I don't know how many of those we would have, we probably need to talk after this and figure out that I can have a conversation with them this week and kind of see what the size and scope of what we're dealing with is there. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If you think that there are things off of it, to push a pause button on
I
that.
feel, you know, we got to turn around the king of our road, brother. If we've got two runarounds down the stretch of road, and we're putting it on private property, you know.
Yeah, that makes me nervous when anything that includes the statement putting it on private property, you're not gonna get my support.
Yeah, I think going forward, we need to wait and hold up on these turnarounds until we get it figured out.
Would a member of the court like to make that motion for a temporary pause?
I'll move for a temporary pause till we can decide on what we want to do. And I would say that maybe everything that's been being done, looks pretty good, could just be grandfathered in, maybe.
Well, that would be something we need to explore, because that goes back to the whole, have we been maintaining it for 15 years? And the reason that 15 years is in there, Mr. County Attorney, tell me if I'm way off base here, there's a certain number of years that once you've been maintaining something, there's a feeling of possession there, the law of adverse possession, I think is actually what it's called. But anyway, that would be a conversation that we can certainly have. Motion on the floor, then to pause that, is there a second?
Second.
Second to the magistrate
You're talking
district.
about pause altogether or just new ones?
No, that's pausing altogether. Is that correct in your motion and in your comments?
What if you have a big flood, that forces the road or the turnaround now?
A pause is a pause. If it gets paused, that means until we have that conversation with them this week, that means they can't.
If we're not legally to go out there and work on it, then I just want to get everything straight. Well, if we're going to go out there and work on it, you know, we need to be.
I think that's fair. We work too hard to do things the right way than to leave something ambiguous now. So I'll have that conversation with them this week.
Long to get this worked out.
I wouldn't think so.
If we have a flood, we could call a
Special call.
meeting and try to get it
That's fair.
moved through faster, I think, but darn that, it'd probably be better to get it all in black and white, so there's no gray area there that we're treading on.
I don't disagree.
We go out there and work on one that we've already been fixing, and somebody said, well, why are they doing that one? And they can't come over here and do mine because, you know,
Fair.
today's a different day, but, you know, they work.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I promise you that will
We're
happen.
gonna get into a lot of back and forth on that if we don't get something straight.
That's fair. Got an active motion on the floor from District 2 with a second from District 3. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. Motion passes. This time, anything remaining? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to say one more thing to Greg there, of that $2.6 million of supplemental funding, be sure to put us in for 2.5.
Thank you all very much. I need a motion to adjourn at this time.
So moved.
So moved by Magistrate District 2. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Magistrate District 3. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. Motion passes. Meeting adjourned.